Welcome back to the channel today, guys. Now, we had a very fun episode of Danmachi today, After the events of our previous episode, with Team Hestia and Belle finally taking down the Moss Huge, it's time for a little bit of R&R and a bit of catch-up today, as they're on the 18th floor, recuperating after the fight. It's an episode filled with smiles, laughs, love, and murder? Murder? Huh. It's a fun episode that really sets things up for the future of our season. So without further ado, let's get into it and talk about Danmachi Season 4, Episode 6 today. Now, our episode begins with Belle and Lily having a conversation with themselves. As I said, now that they've taken out the Moss Huge, they're on the 18th floor, and they're recuperating with each other. Well, not with each other, but you know what I mean. They're recuperating and recovering after that very strenuous battle. And they're having a conversation, really discussing the events of their first expedition and how it really didn't go that well in hindsight. And boy, did it not. But the entire conversation, Lily's giving Belle the side eye. Now, I really pray that y'all have experienced the side eye. It's a very mysterious thing. But as they're talking, Lily says, Belle, there's something I really need to talk to you about. Just the two of us. I need some one-on-one time. So after you do your duties today and you go talk to everyone, can we meet up and have this one-on-one time with each other? And Belle's like, sure. You know what? I'm fine with that. Let's do that, Lily. So they go about their day. But before we get into that, we have to kind of backtrack a little bit, because now we're going to talk about the gods. Now, the gods are actually holding a Denidus. Now, if you don't know what a Denidus is, it's basically a meeting of the gods for them to converge together and just discuss the happenings and going-ons of what's been transpiring with them recently. But really, it's just a place where they can all sit down and just gossip, goof off, and just kind of be irresponsible with each other. But it's also a place where they can change the names of their familia members and give them these nicknames that they have. And that's the goal of Hestia in our episode today. Hestia's goal in our episode today is to change the nicknames for Welf and for Belle to give them really cool, good-sounding nicknames, So Belle doesn't have to be straddled with the nickname Little Rookie this whole time. Because I'd argue he's definitely not a rookie anymore. So we go through the Denidus and we hear Welf's new nickname of Ignis. And they don't seem too happy about it, but I'm sitting here thinking, that's kind of a good name. That kind of is appropriate for Welf since he's a blacksmith, Ignis. I think that's pretty fitting, actually. And now we move on to the topic of Belle, and everyone here is overjoyed to talk about Belle. They give him the most ridiculous nicknames ever. We even have Freya, who we all know has been plotting behind the scenes to make Belle stronger and stronger this whole time. So she can eventually... take him in a sense. We'll leave it at that, guys. So she proposes an outrageous nickname that basically means her husband. She wants to really take Belle in, if you know what I mean. And of course, no one likes that. And they all propose the most ridiculous nicknames. So by the end of it all, Hestia, exasperated, was able to get a pretty decent nickname for Belle. And his new nickname is Rabbit's Foot, actually. Which I still think is a little goofy, I'll be honest, but incredibly fitting. Because a rabbit's foot is technically a good luck charm, in my opinion. So I think it's actually a very fitting name for Belle. And that is his new nickname moving forward. And it's here we transition back to Belle and Lily going about their day. Now, the first order of business for them is to go check on the injured. They have to make sure people are okay. So they go and check on Luvis and Dormal and their parties and all that. And Belle is extremely apologetic because Luvis lost his arm, and a lot of their party members are actually pretty badly injured to the point where they're not going to be the same again. And Belle is very sorry about that. But they tell him that don't worry about this. This is something that happens when you're in the dungeon. When you go out and explore the unknown, you have to be prepared for the risks. To do something like being an adventurer is not something you can do haphazardly. It's something you have to be fully committed to and to deal with the consequences when they come, because they will come. And in this moment, they swear that if Belle is ever in danger, at any time, that they will come and assist him. So Belle now has kind of 2 new allies in this sense, and that's quite good for him. And Dormal thanks them and says, you know, Lily, that speech you gave at the end really lit a fire in all of us, you know? It really got us going. We might not have been able to hold out without that until Belle came without you. So thank you for that. And they all thank them. And Lily's incredibly embarrassed. And Belle's looking on like, a speech, huh? Interesting. So as they're leaving that, actually, Lily tells Belle that, you know, are you done with your duties today, Belle? Can we have our one-on-one time now and have our talk? And Belle tells her that, you know, sorry, Lily, I got a little more stuff to do. Can you patiently wait a bit until then, and then we'll have our time? And she says, okay. So Belle actually goes off to talk to Chigusa and Oka about what happened on their expedition. But Lily, not being satisfied with this, of course tags along, albeit unbeknownst to Belle, hiding in the bushes. And Belle goes and talks to those 2. And Oka is frustrated, to say the least, because it was really his duty to protect Chigusa down in the dungeon. And she was the first person to get hit with the Moss Huge's parasite in a way. So he feels very responsible for this. He feels like if he was stronger and protected her better, that the situation they were in would not have been so dire. And to an extent, he's probably not wrong. But Belle has to sit him down and tell him, you know, we're a team here. Even if we're from different familias, we're all a team. We come together and we strengthen each other. We support each other in our time of need. We fill in the weaknesses of each other so we're stronger together. And he gives them really encouraging words like that. And Lily's just sitting there like, yeah, Belle really has come into his own here. And she's feeling a little proud of him. But, of course, that can't be all, because as he's going and talking to them, Cassandra and Daphne come running up, and they quite literally just haul Belle off to Lily's begrudgment. And we follow them now. And it turns out that Cassandra and Daphne dragged Belle along to a weapon shop, literally just so he could give them a discount. Because if you remember in the first season, they had that giant battle actually on the 18th floor where they fought, what was it, a golem or something? And Belle was the one that actually took it out. So everyone here is actually really grateful for him. And Lily says it himself that they're just using Belle as like a coupon in this situation. And I found that pretty funny. But they end up getting the discount to Lily's begrudgment, because now they can't get the discount. And it's here as they're leaving that they really comment to Belle, like, you know, I know you become a level 4, but it really is shocking how strong you become. Like, you kind of came in and took that monster out and made it look easy. And Cassandra says, yeah, like, you really showed us all something. You even proved my clairvoyance wrong. And Daphne's like, nah, don't worry about her crazy talk. And I still think it's wild how they can still discredit her, like, clairvoyance. Even if it's only a possibility about what could happen in the future. I think it's wild that they just discredit it so much. But then Belle asked them, you know, how'd Lily do? How do you think Lily did as a strategist? And Daphne starts really talking her up. Like, I think she has a knack for it. I think she's got a talent for it. I think she did a great job out there on the battlefield. And Lily, of course, on the sidelines like, oh, shucks, guys. Don't talk me up so much. But keep doing it, please. And as they're walking, Belle gets approached by Haruhime and Makoto now. And Lily's just getting more mad each time. Like, God damn it. And they go and drag Belle off to go have some tea. And he starts talking to Makoto and Haruhime. Now, in this instance, they start saying, like, oh, Belle, you should have seen Haruhime when she learned her new spell. She was really magnificent. She really looked incredible as she was level boosting everyone. And Haruhime is, of course, embarrassed. But Makoto literally looks at her like, yo, what are you doing? This is your chance to talk yourself up. You gotta make yourself look good if you want him to fall for you. I gotta say, man, Haruhime is adorable. I really gotta say that. She really is. But Belle is not too happy about that, actually. He's very sad because he realizes that for them to be in that situation means that the situation was that dire. And he apologizes to them saying, you know, I'm so sorry that I put you in a situation like that to where you had to do that. Put so much strain on yourself. And of course they tell him it's no big deal. And they want to hear about what happened to him when he got separated from them. And he tells them exactly what happened. How he fought the Iniasku. I was messed the name up, guys. Don't judge me on that. And how he rushed back to go help them, conveniently leaving out his encounter with Mari, which was probably a good thing, to be honest. And they're like, wow, that's so awesome. And Lily the whole time is so pissed. Like, I was gonna ask him that. So they end up leaving after that conversation, and Lily's like, yo, it's finally my turn, right? I can finally talk to this man, right? And here comes our boy Wealth with Aisha. And Wealth is plastered, bro. He is shit-faced right now. With a bunch of other adventurers that are on the floor. And they're like, Belle, you're just in time, buddy. What's up? Let's go drinking. And of course, Belle's like, oh, I got other stuff I gotta do, guys, actually. And they're like, nah, the night's young. The night's young, man. Let's go freaking party. So they drag Belle off to the bar. And Belle starts reminiscing to them about their story. Everyone on this floor is super interested about the story that happened with them because this was a big deal. And they're all obviously praising him. Belle's trying to be humble. They're like, nah, don't be humble, man. This is your time. Let's go. Let's have a good time. Tell us everything. And of course, Lily goes into the bar and she's like, oh, what is going on here? And it's here that they hear news of Belle's new nickname, Rabbit's Foot. And everyone seems to like it. Even Belle ponders for a second like, Rabbit's Foot, huh? Which, again, I think is a very fitting name for Belle. And as they're sitting there talking, Aisha gets a little... handsy. Because she's plastered too. And she's like, come on, Rabbit's Foot. Pay me back for all I've done in this. Little expedition of ours, you know? You gotta pay me back all night long. And I find it hilarious how the other adventurers are there, literally saying, don't wring him too dry, Amazonas. And at this point, Lily's like, alright, I've had enough. I've had enough of this shit. Literally drops like a smoke bomb in the bar and drags Belle out. And it's here that Belle thanks Lily, like, yo, thank you for pulling me out of there. That situation was getting a little risque. In the good way. And Lily's kind of dejected, actually. She finally has her one-on-one time with Belle, so she can sit down and talk with him, but she's feeling sad because everyone else kind of took all the topics that she had. She wanted to talk about what happened when he got separated. She wanted to tell him about his new nickname. She wanted to praise him for what happened. And, you know, she's feeling really down about that. But on the flip side, her seeing all this really shows her that, you know, Belle, you haven't changed. You really haven't changed at all. You're still the kind-hearted person that would never abandon someone and never give up. The person that would call my name and come to my rescue every single time. And it's honestly a very nice scene between these two. It really is. But of course Lily's gotta be like, you know, if one thing has changed about you, Belle, you're more of a womanizer. Which even Belle doesn't even argue against. He's just like... And Lily, at this point, says, Belle, congratulations on your new nickname. Really showcasing that he is moving up in this world. He is probably one of the most famous people in Oreo at this point. And it really shows. But, unfortunately, our good times cannot last, because we'll backtrack a little bit to a scene that we have in Oreo on the surface, actually, where we go to Mamma Mia's bar. Now, Lou is not there. Lou went off on her own, which she does do every once in a while, but she's been acting weird recently. She's been really talking about and thinking about her past, which we all know is very troubled. She's had a very troubled and very sad past, actually. And everyone's worried about her, especially Seer, who's her best friend, is extremely worried about Lou. And it's unfortunately warranted, because we see in our episode that Lou apparently attacks someone on the 18th floor. She's in the 18th floor. She's in the dungeon. And she attacks someone and apparently murders them. Because it's revealed the next day that everyone is in a panic. And Belle asks, what's up? What's going on? And they inform him that someone was murdered. Not by a monster, but by the Gale Wind, which is Lou's adventure name. And that's how our episode ends, actually. And I'll be honest, guys, I know a little about what's going to happen. I know a very little bit, because a while ago I got very curious, because I really do want to get back into the light novels for this series. So I actually read the synopsis for some of the later volumes. So I have a little bit of an understanding about what's going to happen. And I find it very interesting, Lou has always been a character in this show that I've really liked. And I'm going to say right now, we're definitely going to get, a lot of time dedicated to her soon. And I'm very much looking forward to it. But that's how our episode ends today, guys. So you let me know. How did you feel about this arc we had, and about this apparent arc that we're about to get into? Let me know in the comments how you feel about those. And yeah, guys, this show is just a great show. It really is. I won't sit here and say it's the best series ever, because I don't think it is, but it doesn't have to be. It's fun, enjoyable, and I had a smile on my face this entire episode. And to me, that's all that matters. So that'll be it for today's episode, guys. So I hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until next time, deuces, have a blessed day, and pray y'all get the side-eye that Lily was giving Belle at one point in your life. Pray you get that, because that was a take me right now kind of look. I'll see you guys next time. Deuces.